What's up, everyone? This is Night here, and I just want to welcome you to the channel, say thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we'll be doing a slow simulation style franchise rebuild of sorts, where we're going to let the games play out while we watch so that it's rating and player based, to where that's what matters rather than like my stick skills and stuff like that. So we're not going to watch all of every single game, as I want to focus on moving through seasons, building our team through the draft, seeing our new players, hopefully turning into superstars. Maybe develop some storylines. Of course, we will watch some of the games, but we're mainly going to focus more so on the games like divisional games, games with playoff implications, and of course, if and when we make the playoffs, we will watch probably most of, if not all of those games. I do want to be able to go through multiple seasons and be able to become, more vested into the growth of our drafted players and things like that. So without further ado, let's introduce you to the team we will be rebuilding for this franchise. This team's been pretty good at times in the last 10 years, but are in a huge fallout period where they've had 2 losing seasons in the last 3 years, including the most recent 2024 season where they just finished with a 5-12 record. They've missed the playoffs for 4 straight seasons after having a stretch of 5 straight winning seasons, where they went 11-5, 13-3, 13-3, 12-4, and 9-8. And had 4 playoff appearances where they lost once in a wild card round, twice in the divisional round, and even made it and lost once in the championship round. They did win their last Super Bowl back in 2009, but the most recent thing that they are best known for, not necessarily in the best of terms, is being in endless memes of both a Bounty Gate scandal and, of course, being on the losing end of the Vikings' Case Keenum and Stephon Diggs Minneapolis Miracle. And of course, I'm talking about none other than the New Orleans Saints. They've had some great players over the years, from Archie Manning to Drew Brees, who holds practically every passing record in the Saints' history, to their up until their current star, and now 5-time Pro Bowler, all-around running back in Alvin Kamara, who is now going to be 30 years old going into the 2025 season. They finished, again, the 2024 season with a 5-12 record, and we're at the bottom of the NFC South. They're in dire straits with their cap situation, where they are projected to be with about $52 million over the cap, which we will have to figure out how to navigate and still field a full 53-man roster. So of course we're going to have a lot of work to do with them and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to get started by taking over the Saints as their new head coach, Kellen Moore, who was just hired on from the Super Bowl winning Eagles coaching staff, where he was hailed as an offensive mastermind, where he served as their offensive coordinator. So I'll kind of show you what we're working with for the staff right now. So of course we've got Kellen Moore, Scott Anderson, and Benjamin Turner were already there. We'll take care of, we're going to get new coordinators and all that when we start the next season. We're going to go through this first season pretty quickly since it's the 2024 season. But I do want to go ahead and go over a few things with you guys. First thing we're going to go over is the league settings that I'm going to be running. So for the league settings, we are going to be doing on all pro skill level, game style simulation, 12-minute quarters. Accelerated clock will be on with the 20-second play clock time. I've been very into getting sliders situated, auto subs, and everything like that. I've done multiple seasons, full seasons with these sliders on my own. Just testing seasons and stuff like that, and this is ideal when it comes to amount of plays. So to give you an idea, when we're looking at amount of plays with the ones that I have that we're going to be running, it got me compared to like the 2024 season, as far as amount of plays per game. In a regular season, and this is based off the Saints from 2024, they had 2,151 total plays. In my simulated season, I had 2,012, so about 139 play difference. With an average plays per game in real life, they averaged 126.5. In simulation, I averaged 118.4. So it's pretty close when it comes to receiving yards and all that. Everything was pretty even. The only thing that's lacking a little bit would be the rushing yards, and there's really not much I can do because I have everything else right where I need it. But for rushing, for comparison, like the attempts, they were within about 75 attempts of each other, real life to simulation. But the yards had about a 600-yard difference and about a 35 to 40-yard difference per game as far as where it should be at. But when I was doing that simulation, it was also, I didn't have Alvin Kamara as a starter. I had Williams and Miller as a backup, so I was just doing on my last test, testing different things. So it may very well be slightly different if you have a star running back or good running back. I haven't gotten into that much of it, so I mean they're not necessarily 100% what we're going to be running, but they're pretty close to 100% of this, and the gameplay settings and like that is what we're going to be running for the whole franchise. But if we need to make some changes, we will as we go. And if you want to see the stats, I'll post them on the channel in a post with stat comparison and stuff like that, so you guys can check it out if you want to see it, in case you want to run it on your own, so you kind of have an idea of what you want to do. But back to our gameplay settings. So again, we're going to have 20-second minimum play clock time, cooldown limits and all that's going to be off. We are going to have dynamic momentum home field advantage on. Normally it doesn't work very well. It's kind of wonky. It throws things off, but it's been feeling really good lately for me with the settings that I'm running and how I'm running these in slow sim, and it seems to be pretty good. You're seeing harder games in stadiums you expect it to be harder in. Such as Seattle and Kansas City and Minnesota and Lambeau. So if it starts to get a little wonky, we'll turn it off. But from what I'm seeing, we are going to leave it on. As far as team settings, of course, we're going to be doing everything manual. So I even have progression, tutorials, all that's off. We are going to keep our trades at normal. Whenever I do a trade, if I do one, we will go into like PFF or something like that. And I'll do it based off of what an actual real life value would be for that player. And we'll kind of do it off of that. I'm not going to look to take advantage of it. We're going to try to make this as lifelike as possible. I want it to be with somewhat realistic. Salary cap is obviously going to be on. Unfortunately, it's not going to keep up like real life will. It's going to, but we'll work with that. I want to have a cap on. We are going to do free agent motivation impact at very high. Just like in real life, as we saw this season, a lot of players are getting cut. Except, Josh Allen's getting huge contracts. And I want it to be to where we can't just throw money at someone and sign anyone we want. I want it to matter. And then, those superstar players, if we're going to get one, we're going to have to pay for them. We're going to have to pay them like a top tier player. So I do want it that way, to where it brings some more of that realism in. Obviously, like I said, the salary cap part doesn't work, and I'm sure we'll see things where you're paying $500 million or whatever, for a quarterback or something. But, we're going to be within reason, but I do want it to be very high, so it's more difficult for us and hopefully more lifelike. Practice squad stealing. This is going to be on the first season and the first, what do you want to call it? After our first off season. Once we're done with our first off season, I will be turning it off. Reason being is, in real life, they're not signing people off of, they're not going to sign my entire practice squad the day after, and that happens a lot in Madden. You'll get your practice squad set, you'll go forward a week, and suddenly half or all of your practice squad's been signed. So we may turn that off if that keeps happening. But for now, it's going to be on, but it's probably going to go off. Relocation settings, I am going to disable. We all see nobody in the NFL right now is going to be relocating again anytime soon. If a team were to relocate, it might be, I don't know. The only team I can really see relocating right now would maybe be the Chargers, and that's just because you've got two teams in LA. The Rams won a Super Bowl recently. They're the favorite in LA. So if a team does move to, say San Antonio or Portland or something like that, I would see maybe the Chargers being the ones to move, if anyone, or maybe even the Cardinals. But I also don't see the Cardinals, the oldest franchise, leaving Arizona. But you never know. But we're going to leave it disabled for our franchise, so we're not having random teams move. I don't want to see Buffalo go to Toronto, even though a lot of people think they should because of the small market and everything. Buffalo's got some of the best fans in the world. Now, I'm a Vikings fan myself. So I feel for Buffalo with not having a Super Bowl yet. So I'm sure you guys are going to go after me in comments about that or whatever. But, I'm part of Skull Nation. You know, it's Viking Nation Skull. It is what it is, and we will be doing Vikings rebuilds. I may even be doing a Vikings rebuild on the side on Twitch, and I'll just upload it here. But this will be the main franchise on this channel. Staff talent cost modifier, it is going to be slow. I don't want to have it all filled out in a season or two, so that is going to be slow. We are going to do all this on, except for progressive fatigue. Now, this is going to be off, but we're going to leave it on at first. Reason being is I want to go in, set everything to full pads, and then set it all to splits. So I am going to have it on for 1 week, and then it will be turned off and will stay off. So that will be off. Prospect storylines obviously on. And then another change I did do for free agent negotiations. I'm changing stage 1, 2, and 3 to all 3 of them will be at 3. Reason I'm doing this is it will take a little bit more time for all the players to disappear. You know, when you have 5 people doing it and you hit the left stick, you've got, 50, 60 free agents automatically, or even more, I mean, probably 100 free agents gone. This way, each team's kind of limited. You know, it gives you time to, just like in real life, where there's negotiations, it's over a time period, it's not just the first thing. And honestly, we're not going to be signing a lot of free agents anyway. I'm going to be building it through the draft. The first season, we might, depending on what we need to do, stuff like that, and to fill holes. If, we lose somebody to free agency, we'll obviously have to sign some replacements, and we'll have a few signings here and there, but I just think this will make it more lifelike and realistic. And of course, Coach Firing is going to be off, especially with the Saints. I mean, working with this cap, we're going to have to work with what is like 52 million projected over the cap or whatever. I mean, it's going to be difficult enough to field a 53-man team without blowing up the entire roster. So, I mean, if I put this on, I might get fired after 1 season. So we're going to leave that as CPU only. For dev traits, I did drop it to where the X Factor and Superstars will be the top 100. Just like in real life, you always have the top 100 players. Lists everywhere. Every news station has it. Every sportscaster has it. So our top 100 is going to be the X Factors and Superstars, and then we will have 300 star dev players. But I don't want the league to be overloaded with stars, superstars, and X Factors, because real life isn't. You might have 2, maybe 3, some 4, depending on the team, that would fall into this category, and you'll have a few fall in here. But when you think about it, 32 teams, if each team has, we'll say, 5 players, I mean, you're looking at what, 150, about 170-ish, players. So this is already more than enough. If I could drop star down more, I would, but I can't. But this would be, to me, more lifelike as far as where it would be as far as progressions go and stuff like that. We are going to have superstar abilities on, because you do have those players, your Grady Jarrett's, this last season, Van Ginkel, Brown over in Carolina, and stuff like that. You have your game-wrecking players that can change the direction of the game in a matter of a play or two. So, your Saquon Barkley, you got to have that in there for it to be realistic. So we are going to have that in there. If it breaks the game too much, I'll turn it off. But it's like I said, everything's going pretty good, so we are going to have it on. Minimum roster size is going to be the game day, the Sunday 48-man roster, and fill roster will be off. So now we're going to go ahead and go into our XP sliders that we're going to be working with. So the numbers might seem crazy at first, but there's a reasoning that I'm doing it this way, and it's working pretty good. So in Madden, typically, huge progression fall-offs hit around 27 is when it starts. In real life, depending on the position, I mean, you take Harrison Smith, for instance, he's, in his mid-30s, and he's coming back for another season. He's still a great safety. Might not necessarily be at the Pro Bowl, top Pro Bowl caliber he was in his prime, but he's still able to play, and he can play at a high level. So I wanted to try to change that a little bit to where they're not as quick regressive, but at the same time there is regression. Like, you're not going to have any, 34 plus in there very long. And they're definitely not going to be in the 90s anymore. But this sets it up to where, it's, pretty fast progression. And then kind of around 24, 24 to 27 range, the progression starts to slow, and then they hit their prime, and then the regression really kicks in at about kicks in heavy at 30. Then they start to really fall off a hill, and then at 34 it's just downright, and you'll see. So quarterbacks are going to set at 230, halfbacks at 220, tight ends at 210, wide receivers at 220, fullbacks at 180, tackles, guards, and centers at 170. And then, so I did it also based off of, you know, how much they play, things they do, opportunities for progression, stuff like that. You know, quarterbacks on the field for, you know, they have the ball every single play, so they should have the highest progression out of the entire offensive, you know, side. Just like on the defense, you know, the middle linebackers, they're the ones reading the plays. You know, they're the ones that are doing the mic and stuff like that. And the quarterbacks, who are always, you know, whether it's blocking, blitzing, or covering, you know, it's, to me, they're the two positions on defense that are always up. You know, have the most opportunities for progression, or, you know, regression, so to speak, on the other hand too. So defensive ends, we got at 210, defensive tackles at 210, middle linebackers at 220, outside linebackers at 210, quarterbacks at 220, and then both safeties at 210. Kickers and punters at 150. They don't do much. This will help them, you know, progress a little bit quicker. But at the same time, this also takes into account where it's position based, whereas, you know, kickers don't rely necessarily on skills, they rely on strength. As they age, you know, they'll start to lose strength, they won't be able to make it as far, they won't be as accurate. So I try to do all that stuff into it as well, along with these positions, you know. And that's why centers and guards I have at 170, and then when you see the regressions, why they're lower, it's because, you know, they typically play longer. They, you know, it's a couple of seconds, you know, more of the strength, boom, 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 and, you know, it's not so much skill based, it's strength based, which does go down over time, but not as quickly as speed and agility and skills. All those skills typically diminish a lot quicker. So I did try to play that into this as well. Then for the age, of course, 20-year-olds, 250, 240 at 21, and then 210, 220 at 22, 210, 200 at 24, 190 at 25, 180 at 26, and as you can see, just kind of go down by 10 every time. And then at 35, it drops below 100. So you don't have even a basic progression anymore. Because even at this age, they can still progress to the point of staying even, because you have to counter it with the regression correctly. So you can't just say, oh, zero regression or zero progression, then throw on regression, because then it just bottom out. So you want that smooth progression, smooth regression. So that's what I kind of try to set up here. And then for regression, quarterbacks at 120, halfbacks, tight ends, and receivers at 130. And as you can see, they're higher than the quarterback now. Why is, yeah, the quarterback gets pressured, he gets hurried, he gets sacked. But halfbacks, they take more of a beating. Wide receivers, they take more of a beating. You know, their chances of injury or regression from injury, stuff like that, are a lot higher. So that's why I've done the regression rates the way I have for them. So again, 120 at quarterback, 130 for halfbacks, tight ends, and receivers, 110 for fullbacks, and 100 for the offensive line. For the defense, we're doing 130 for the defensive ends, defensive tackles, 140 for the middle linebackers, 120 for the outside linebackers, 150 for the corners. And another reason I'm doing it so high for the corners is because they typically come in strong in drafts, and I don't like dropping the overall levels by putting it to a weak class. So we're leaving it all at normal, but this way, it somewhat limits that huge having, a whole bunch of high 80s, low 90s, mid 90 quarterbacks in the league. And then safeties, we got both at 120. Kickers and punters, we have at 140. And then for age, again, 2680, 2790. They kind of plateau at 2728 at 100, 29, and then the regression starts. So 30, you got at 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, and then a huge drop off to 180 once they're 35 plus. They should be getting out of the league, and then you'll have new players coming in. So that's definitely how we're going to do that. And now we're going to go to our gameplay sliders. So for the gameplay sliders, I do have QB accuracy set to obviously player skills are all base 50, their default. CPUs set to 30, pass blocking at 45, wide receiver catching at 45, run blocking at 45, ball security at 40, pass defense reaction time at 45, interceptions at 20, pass coverage at 45, tackling at 45. These may look a little crazy to you too, almost based off like that, but the accuracy plays out pretty well. With this on here, just look real quick. So when I was doing it, so the completion percentage in real life for the Saints last year was 61.7%, and my Sims, I get it to where it was about 64%. So it was averaging literally right at where it would be in real life. Same with attempts, I was 9 off, yards was 198 off, 1 touchdown difference. Interceptions were exactly the same. Yards per game was about a 12-yard difference. The rating, 85.3 to 88.8, so about a 3.5 point difference. The yards per attempt, 6.8 to 7. So as you can see, everything was pretty spot on when it comes to real life. So these settings are working. And then I did tackle already. So field goal power at 50, field goal accuracy at 40. Punt power at 50, punt accuracy at 45, so you do have a few shanks here and there. Kickoff power at 50, injuries at 30. You still will get some season-ending injuries. On one of my seasons, at the end of the season, I had, I think, 9 people on IR, or not necessarily on IR, but that were on the injury report at the end of the season. I had 2 on IR. But it's not just a bunch of torn labrums like you normally see. You know, it's kind of a mixture of different things. And some serious, some not so serious. So it's a good mixture, good feel. You do have to use some of your backups, but it doesn't go too crazy, or at least it hasn't yet. So fatigue is at 60, minimum player speed threshold, I do have it 40. For penalties, offsides at 60, false start at 55, holding at 50, face mask at 50, defensive pass interference at 45, illegal block at a back at 55, roughing the passer at 60. And all other penalties are on. So I know a lot of people play with intentional grounding off. I don't need to with this. You know, it's called, but not very often. The roughing the passer is called more than it should be. That is one thing where I've seen it called back-to-back on occasion. But it does. I did it this way because it sets it up to where it's not overpowering as far as how many penalties are being called. And it kind of evens out to where it's not too many penalties, but we're getting some penalties. So I believe, like when I was doing it, I'm just going through real quick. So in my last season, I had a total of 48 penalties called all season. So in real life, the Saints had 110. To me, 50 to 75 is kind of good. You know, 3 to 4 a game, roughly, is what I'd say is average per team. You know, good teams don't have, some games they don't have any, and then some games, you know, certain teams like maybe the Giants, they'll have 10 by themselves. So I mean, it's kind of hit or miss on where you want to be on penalties, but excuse me, this works out pretty good for me, and I'm really liking how this works, so that's what we're going to run with. And let me know what you guys think. I mean, if you see something, leave comments down below, and you know, I can work it off on the side, and if I see something and if it works better, you know, we can make some adjustments. But yeah, that's the gameplay sliders, and now let's go to the auto subs. So I do have auto subs set, especially on the defense that you'll see when we get there, but I want it set for rotation. So the positions that typically rotate, I have set to rotate. The ones that don't, you see that they're really not going to rotate very much. So of course, QB sub in is 1, sub out is 0. They're not going to come out unless it's, you know, a huge lead or they get hurt. Running backs, you've got 85 in, 75 out. Wide receivers, 90 in, 85 out. Fullbacks, tight ends, 85 in, 75 out. And then O-line, same thing. They don't sub. They're playing the whole game for the most part. Unless there's an injury, they need a quick breather or something like that. But normally, they're in there the whole game. So that's also 1 and a 0. Defense. We all know the defenses rotate like crazy. You know, you have, you know, your second down packages, blitz packages, third down packages, dime packages, you know, your nickel packs, you know, you have all these different things, different players do it. So in order to get the proper rotation to where you're getting different players in there, you have to jump it up some, and this was feeling very comfortable to me. So the whole defense, every position is 90 in, 85 out. So it does allow a lot more rotations, and everything like that. So it works pretty smooth. So that's what we're going to run with. So that's all the settings we're going to be running on this franchise. You know, like I said, let me know what you think. You'll get to see it in action here soon. And let's go ahead and get started on this preseason and get to week 1. So introduce you to the team. Of course, you probably know most of them, but we're going to go ahead and go through it, and we'll trim the roster as we're going. Real quick, let's say we got 60, so I need to trim 12 players. So let's go. We're not going to touch free agency. We're going to run with the roster that they have for this season, so we're not going to touch free agency right now. So for QBs, of course, you got Derek Carr, who's on a ridiculous contract, it's killing us. Here, let me go into the salaries that way. It's a little bit easier to go through everything there. So Derek Carr's contract is it's crazy. He's in the regression stages, you know, especially at this age. You know, we're going to have to do something. I don't know if Rattler's the answer. You know, we're going to put him in that in the in season, not playing at all, and get him a little bump and see if he can maybe be our future. We'll give him a year maybe, unless, you know, we'll run with him unless, you know, I find a quarterback in the draft that I really absolutely feel like we need to have. But I don't want to be one of those ones that we're jumping in and, you know, first draft for focus on a quarterback. I don't want to do that. It's not just a quarterback fix all. This team is a bunch of old players, you know, a bunch of contracts expiring soon, a lot of backlog, but we have a lot of issues and we need to fill pretty much every position. So, you know, I don't want to just focus on only a quarterback. So it's important. We're going to focus on it, but it's going to be more than that, especially, you know, next year, 51.5, and then he goes to 60. He's probably going to end up riding the bench these 2 years, and I'm not going to be able to trade him for that. So I'm going to have to cut him and take the penalty, or just eat it and build through the draft and hope Rattler does what he can do. Or we'll see as we go. I mean, you guys put your comments in, what you think, and we'll just go from there. But yeah, you got your starter, Derek Carr, Steve Rattler, and Jake Keener. For halfbacks, of course, you got Alvin Kamara. Probably going to end up trading Kamara away. I do like Kendra Miller. He's going to be a starter for us, probably for a majority of it. He's going to be a big part of this franchise, I think. And yeah, we're going to see what he does. Jamal Williams, and of course Jordan Mims. I do carry 3 quarterbacks and 3 running backs, so we are going to go ahead and cut Mims for one of our cuts. So let's go ahead and release him. I do like to have a fullback, so we've got Adam Prentice there. For wide receivers, of course, we've got Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Marquise Valdes-Scantling, Cedric Wilson Jr., Bub Means, Dante Pettis, Mason Tipton, and Kevin Austin Jr. I typically do run with 6 wide receivers. So we are going to be cutting a few of these down. So, of course, you know, we're going to have Olave and Shaheed in. We're going to have Bub Means. We're going to see if we can get him up some and maybe be a number 2 until we can find a good, solid number 2. But, you know, we're going to have to work through that and get rid of some of them. Same with tight ends. I normally run with 3 tight ends, so we're going to be getting rid of a couple of those. So you got Taysom Hill, Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau, Dalen Holker, and Zach Wood. For left tackle, you got Talise Fuaga. Probably going to be moving him to right tackle, but we'll see where we're at. And then, of course, backup Justin Haram, Lucas Patrick, and Nick Saldaviri for our left guard positions. For center, you've got Eric McCoy, Shane Manua, and Kyle Hergel. For right guard, you got Cesar Ruiz and Landon Young. Right tackles, you've got Ryan Ramsick, Trevor Petting, Ali Udo, and Josh Ball. For the ends, you've got, of course, Carl Granderson, Peyton Turner, Tanok Kapassian. For right ends, you got Cam Jordan, Chase Young, Isaiah Foskey. For D tackle, you got Brian Breezy, Nathan Shepard, Helene Sanders, Christian Boyd, and John Ridgway III. We're going to be moving all this around because I think they're set up in a 4-3. I do like running 3-4s. It's just what I've always run. It's just what I do. It's what I like drafting with the attributes that I feel are best is in a 3-4 base. So we will be moving some of them around. Like Breezy's probably going to end up moving to right end. Cam Jordan might end up moving to left end. Chase Young's going to end up moving to an edge. Fosse's going to end up moving to an edge. Granderson's going to be there. Of course, Turner will be an end. Bastian will be an end. So there'll be some changes, which we'll get to once we're getting the team introduced. But of course, right now, outside linebacker, you've got Willie Gay, Anthony Orji, Demario Davis, rock star player, really old, but this is what I'm talking about, 35-90. He's really good, but we shouldn't have anybody that's an overall of a 90 at 35. Very few. I mean, Demario Davis could fit into that, but it's like, Tom Brady at 35 could see it at 90. I don't see, Geno Smith being a 90 at 35. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're not going to have a bunch of quarterbacks and players that should be at a 90 when they're that old. They're not old, but in football terms, that's old. Pete Warner, Nephi Sewell, and DeMarco Jackson at the other ends at corners. Of course, you got Paulson and Debo, who we're probably going to end up losing because I don't know if we're going to be able to re-sign him this season. So we're probably going to have to lose him just like they did in real life. Of course, you've got our rookie pick, Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's going to be a solid, probably number 2. I don't know if he'll be a number 1. We're going to probably have to draft another one. He's going to be our 1 or 2. You got Ugo Amadi, Alante Taylor, Shamir Jean-Charles, Rigo Payton, and Rajion Wright. For safeties, you've got Terry Matthew and JT Gray. I am going to move Matthew to strong safety, most likely. And then you've got Will Harris and Jordan Howden. And then, of course, for kicker, you've got Blake Grupe and Matthew Hayball. So that rounds out our roster. So let's go ahead and make some of our cuts. We'll do our training camp and then get through the preseason. So, and I do my cuts here because I want to look at different stats and things when I'm doing my cuts here. So stuff like wide receivers, for ages and catching and awareness, stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut Kevin Austin Jr. And I know they kept Dante Pettis in real life, but I am not going to use Dante Pettis in our franchise. He is going to be cut just because I need to cut him. I need to get down to 6, and Tipton's at an age that I want to run. Bud means I want to be able to run. Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, they're our main ones. So, I mean, this is the 6 we're going to run with for now. But, I need to get these guys some more snaps and get them progressing up and see if we have maybe a number 3 out of one of them eventually or whatnot. Because we're not going to bring Valdez back, and eventually we're either going to trade away or cut Cedric Wilson next year, most likely. For tight ends, of course, you got Taysom Hill, Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau, Dalen Holker, and Zach Wood. We're gonna cut Wood. I mean, 27 overall. It doesn't matter. I'll take the hit on that cap. We're cutting Zach Wood. It's just not gonna help us at all. Holker, already 24, only 63. We're gonna end up having a draft. Right now, we're gonna be running with Juwan Johnson, but we're gonna keep him for now probably because we're probably going to end up cutting Taysom Hill. We'll see if we can get a trade for him. I don't think we will. But if there's nothing offered, we're probably going to cut him just to, save some of the salary for the next season. Just because it's like, 34 years old. It's not going to be a part of our franchise for very long. We're going to have to save some money somewhere. It only saves us $1 million right now. But, I want to get Juwan Johnson some more reps, maybe see if he can hang in there until we get a good one. But, with Hill, we're going to either trade away or we're just going to end up cutting for now. So we'll see. There was no offers. You might be able to get a 7 for him, but I'm not even going to attempt that. We're just going to cut Taysom Hill. I know a lot of Saints fans might hate me for this, but, it is what it is. We're going to take the penalty, and it is what it is. We're down to our tight ends. Now for our tackles. I may end up flipping our tackles because I think Ramczyk is a better pass blocker than Fuaga is. So we're actually going to flip Ramczyk over to left tackle, Fuaga to right. Just for now because I want to be able to draft in anyone to replace him. And I think Fuaga would be better on the right side anyways. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put him at right tackle. Alright, so then you've got, Haran should be there. No, we don't really have a solid backup for left tackle. Might put Udo, I don't know, Josh Ball we're going to cut. We're going to just cut him, get rid of him. And then, let's see. It's 28. Well, he's 27, but not really good. I think we're going to probably cut Ollie. Let's see what our guard position looks like. So Salvadiri, Patrick. Of course, McCoy's a good center. We're going to cut Virgil. I only keep 2 for each of the lines going in, and Rez and Young. Yeah, so yeah, that looks good. We are going to go ahead and cut Ollie Udo. Let's go ahead and release him out. So now this is where the fun comes in. So we're going to be moving some of these players around. So Granderson is better as, a finesse move. We might end up trading away Granderson. And we're going to leave Turner down here. Let's see it, block shed. There's 70s. Let's see, Chase Young is going to right end. Or not right edge, to right outside edge, because we are going to be switching to a 3-4. Oh. So we're going to go ahead and move him over. Cam Jordan. Let's see. We're going to do Cam Jordan. Yeah, we're going to do Cam Jordan at left end. Foskey's going to move to left edge. And I think it'll be okay for now. Let's see. Granderson, we're going to move to left edge. Definitely know he's better with finesse, so I'm not going to put him over Chase Young. So, and then for our D tackles, I want the heavy boys. So we're going to have Ridgway, Boyd, and Sanders down here. We're probably going to go ahead and move Breezy to right end at the block shedding side, the run stopper. We'll put him at right end. And we may put Shepard at right end too. He's got good play rec. His block shed's okay at 71. And he's got good strength, so he could set the edge a little bit on that side. So he might be a good backup. So we're going to go ahead and maybe put him at right end as a backup. I know he's not really an end, but for all intents and purposes, I want big guys in the middle. I want like the 340s plus. That's the biggest we got right now, so that's what we're going to run with. But they're all 320 plus. He's 315. Yeah, I could put him in there, but for now we're just going to run him there. And then we're going to go ahead and cut Capuchon here. Because I'll run with 2 ends on each side, 3 tackles, and then our linebackers. So they're all too small, in my opinion, for a 3-4. So we're going to throw them into middle linebacker for now, and then see how they stack up as far as their ratings and stats go, and then see what we do. But they're not going to be playing edge in a 3-4. So. And then let's go to our right outside. We've got Young, and most likely Warner is going to be. Let's move Warner for now into the middle because he's on the small side too. We might not have a choice, might need to put him out there, but we're going to put him there for now. And check the size. Yeah, both these, and they're not going to be, you know, decent. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm releasing Swell. And we're going to release Jackson. So now they need to have more of a zone feel when it comes to, you know, middle linebackers for this. So Ford I definitely want. Probably going to run Davis, Gay, Ford, G. So yeah, we'll keep Warner. We're going to switch him out. We'll keep Warner at right, even though he's a little small. He's just going to be a backup and fill in anyways, on rotation, stuff like that. So we'll let him fill in there. And yeah, I think that's a good linebacking corps. So our cornerbacks, I typically keep 5 or 6 of them, depending on our safety. So let's look at our safety. So we've got 2 and 2. Let's see what their ratings are from man and zone. So yeah, that's what I thought. They were both zone heavy. We're definitely going to be doing Matthew at strong safety, though. To me, he's a better strong safety. And that will allow us to put Howden, who I think was a little bit quicker. I'd have to look at his speed, but I think he would make a better free safety. So yeah, 89 speed. Compared to Matthews, yeah, 88. So they're both pretty fast, but yeah, I think it's, you know, going to work out better this way. So that's what we're going to do for safeties. We only have what 1 kicker and 1 punter. So how many quarterbacks do I need to cut? I need to cut at least 1. So let's go ahead and cut our cornerbacks. Yep, and that's perfect. So who are we going to cut? Let's go ahead. I'm going to cut, let's see, very nice playback. I'm big on playing man in the 3-4, so, you know, Wright's more of a zone player, so I'm going to go ahead and cut Wright. And that's going to be our 53-man roster going into 2024. So let me just reset this depth chart real quick. So depth chart, I'm going to reset this. And then the things that I want to check on is I want to make sure we have Kamara and Miller. Yes, Prentice is there. Daughter Shaheed, Scantling. Let's see, Johnson's 1. There's 2 left tackles, 2 guards. Sometimes it doesn't do it right, so I do like to double check it, even though it does take some time. I'll be checking out. Of course, you got Cam Jordan, Reezy back at Shepard, Sanders, Boyd, and Ridgeway. Then you got Emerson and Foskey, Davis, Gabe, Ford. I'm going to move Ford up to number 2 because he's going to be. I want to try to build him up. With Warner, cornerbacks goes Debo, McKinstry, Amadi, Taylor, and Gene Charles. Free safeties are good, and then strong safety and now beautiful. Free safety at Howden, and then I do it there. So let me make sure I'm on 3 down. So from there, no, see, I don't want that. So runs good, but I want Miller to get some more play time in, so we're going to put Miller at number 2 on both of these. And then for this to get more of the catches, we're going to go ahead and put Olave, then Shaheed, and then I want Means there after him. And then for subs, let's get Ford in there, and then back up number 2 on that. And then for the slot, we're going to run Amadi, Taylor, and then Peyton. So that's where we're going to run there. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and do the training camp, and then we'll set up the weekly strategy. So target passing. Let's go ahead and do Rattler. Just going to give myself, you know, a shot or so on each of these. See what we can do. I got one on that. Let's try to get the second one on there. So we got the one there. Now she gotta get two this time. There we go. Got two of them. Should be able to get gold on this pretty easily. And let's do the two. That should be bullseye. There we go. Got a little high pass there. I didn't have that back end one. We've already got gold. Oh, almost missed that one. I did that one too late. We'll just get the ones for now since we already got gold. Let's see if we can get across the field with this one. Almost got that back one, but that's alright. Continue. We'll do pocket presence for Carr, try to lift him up just a little bit. Get a bunch of inner ring hits on this one, so that's good. This is a kind of an interesting kill, I guess you could say. Pretty easy to avoid them for the most part. Every once in a while you'll be caught into one, but almost got hit by the one. That was pretty close. Not good enough. One more would have had gold, but that's alright. I'll take silver on it. Rushing attack for Miller. This is using easy gold. Got him in there. Oh, I didn't cut. I should have cut on that one. That's alright. We'll still get gold. I don't know why I just dive every time. It's a habit. Yep, I got it on the outside. There we go. There's a celebration. This would be another quick one in there. Usually you could get gold by like, 32 seconds or so. Gotta make sure you're doing the celebration balance wherever you can. I'm trying to do it, but I just keep diving. Like that. Let's get it again. These drills are just kind of crazy. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys want me to, show these every season, or if you want me to just advance through them, I can do them all, off video, just get them done. Or if you guys want to see me do them or whatnot, I mean, they're kind of boring, so. Or if I should skip them completely. I've also thought about maybe skipping them since it's CPU versus CPU anyway. Maybe we shouldn't do these. That way we're not adding, player-based progression onto it for me playing with them and using it. Let me know what you think. And while I'm doing this, we're talking about it, don't forget to like and subscribe if you can. If you like what I'm doing, it helps with the analytics and helps me to where I can lets me know that you guys enjoy what I'm doing. I can keep going. Leave comments, let me know what you like, what you don't like, your thoughts. Help dive into storylines and really help build this community. And thanks for stopping by and spending time watching the videos. But yeah, the subscriptions and liking and sharing and all that, it really does help a lot with the algorithm stuff, so that I can get it out to people who also might enjoy. There's not too many of us that do the slow streams, and that's why I'm getting into it, and it's something I do all the time and really enjoy. So I figured why not just do it, since I play it all the time anyways, and get a little bit more people doing it than what we have right now. Because I mean, right now it's really pretty much just sorry, I've been sick. Right now it's really just CB gaming and Mr. Hurricane that does slow sims for the most part. Oh, I don't know what I did down there. But yeah. But we should be able to get gold on this still. We got 6 more tries. It's easy, just keep in the 400s. If I get a good release like that, I can hit the deep ones sometimes. Oh, we're not going to get it now. I forgot he's a little bit faster. I don't know what I'm doing here. I know I said one time, but I'm going to go ahead and restart it because I can do better than that. I know I can. I always get gold on this one. I don't know why I was doing that earlier. I don't know, but maybe means could be our number 3 down the road. I don't see us having a true solid number 2 on our roster yet. I think we still have to build for that. Oh, broke it up. That's alright. I'll just have to hit the 400s for all these, and I should be able to still get gold. That'd be pretty close. That was a bad time to miss one. Yep, alright, cool. We still got gold. And we're not going to do all these drills. I'm just doing them for, ones where we really have people that we want to build up, or, stuff like that of age. Juwan, I want 227. We're kind of on the borderline. We're going to need another 290 soon, but be an easy gold for here too. Chase him to the edge a little bit, go a little to the left to get him leaning, and then you're wide open every time for 400. And you could do this, with any tight end, any receiver, same movement, same motion every time, and it's a gold every single time you do it. But yeah, what are you guys interested in seeing in the draft? Who do you hoping to get a cornerback, maybe a defensive tackle, maybe some DNs possibly. We've got Breezy, but we definitely need a new tackle. Jordan's getting up there, so we may need to replace our left end. We definitely need some new offensive linemen, so we'll be looking into that. Speak offensive linemen, we're going to need a new tackle soon. McCoy's a good center. But we definitely need a new guard. New fodder, maybe see if I can get him up to 80. This is an interesting drill. Yes. Sometimes it's you push your luck trying to run for those. Yeah, I'm not gonna get that one over there anytime soon, I don't think. Oh, I might be able to get it after this one. Oh, of course it moves. Oh, and I tapped it. Oh no. We're gonna have to do it again. I know. I said only once, but... Oh, missed it. Oh, and I can get that on the back end. There we go. That was a nice setup. 3 of those straight from there. Oh, and I hit it again. I don't know why I hit it. I'm usually really good at these. The only ones I really struggle with usually are the quarterback ones. I could really get bronze with those half the time. If I get bronze, I just go with it. I don't even try to push it because I haven't hit the all time with the quarterback ones this year. This pretty quickly. I just gotta stay away from that red circle. I keep hitting it when I don't mean to. Yeah, we should get it this time. Oh. There's the gold. Now we can end it. I didn't even need that other ×1. I think you'll need like 2 of these, maybe 3, and you can just usually go right through them. Alright, well we got trench battle. Who do we have young that we work on here? Of course, Breezy. And I do vape, so if you guys hear that on occasion, that's what it is if you're ordering. Go. Get through that. Right through him. Quick swim move, and down goes a QB. Last one for gold here. Hit by that, and that should be gold for Breezy. And we can go on to the next one. No death trait upgrade yet. This one we're going to do Ford. Oh, I should have done Foskey. I forgot about Foskey. That's alright. I need to build up Ford though for middle linebacker. This one's pretty easy to get golden too. First hit fumble with the perfect time boomstick. That was the early one. I think you can do like 26 of these in a row. another fumble. That's scary to see that many fumbles coming from him. And that's some dynamics. Oh, he just falls down. Interesting. Should still easily be able to be ball though. Oh, I missed him. That was interesting. I know you guys are probably laughing at me right now. Good comments on that, huh? But now you see why I do slow sim, because I can't control players very well. I'm actually not too bad. But not looking like it. I'm tired. I mean, it's 3 a.m. as I'm doing this. So. Finally got everything set up, got my studio going and all that, so that I can actually do this now. And just looked at the clock and realized how late it was. Like, oh wow, it's 3 a.m. in the morning. And I'm a Central Time. I live in Minnesota too, so hence I'm a Vikings fan. You know, originally I was grew up in Florida, but moved to Minnesota. Like most people who grow up in Minnesota, moved to Florida, but I like it cold. You know, I'm one of the ones that like to have my AC at 68 year round. You know, it's 40 degrees outside. I'm in a tank top and shorts. Actually getting really warm up here. Now we were in the 60s the other day. So for the battles, we need Kool-Aid, and we also need to work on. That's all I don't really work on would be. I want to take these because they're a little slower sometimes. We can try to get a Latte Taylor. I might keep him for another 3 or 4 for now, just to help out. We'll see. But this is the one I'm worst at, so we'll see how this goes. I only need to get 2. If I can stop him from getting 2, I'll at least get bronze. Oh, so he's right out there. Oh! I tried to press him and went into the penalties. And again, yep, I might not even get bronze. And I'm not going to keep redoing it either. I'm not going to waste your guys' time on this one. Oh. He was out of bounds on that, but they still gave it to him. And I did jump. I had that. And yep, I'm not going to get bronze. I'm not going to redo it. Because I'm horrible at this one. One shot I enjoy it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I know this isn't fun for you guys to watch. These things are kind of get Kool-Aid. Hopefully I can get bronze on this one now with Mr. Kool-Aid. This one's a little bit easier than for some reason for me. Because you also get points, stopping the touchdown and stuff like that. So it's a little bit easier to get points on this one. But we'll see. Oh no. There's a touchdown save. Okay. Oh, he got me. Yep, I might not even get bronze on this one either. I can get both of these. Intercept both, which I'm not, so yeah, I'm not even going to get bronze on this one either. That's unfortunate. Wow. Well, there's my horrible try at those drills. I told you I had horrible at those drills. we'll do this one. I'm not going to do the coffin corner because that one is 30. This is what I can do though. Wow. I'm just having a bad day. I'm never like this. I don't get it. I don't get why I'm having such a hard time today. There we go. Now I'm getting it back. I think there's a little bit of a delay. Because I'm using a capture card because I'm doing this on Xbox. I think there's a little bit of a delay when you use a capture card on with the connections and stuff. I'm still learning about all that stuff, so. And that's another one. Yeah, because I'm hitting it when I should go right to the middle. There we go. Maybe we can still be going. Ah, that's horrible again. Jesus, come on, man. At least I'll get silver, at least. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a delay. But I think I've learned it now. Well, almost. We'll take silver. I'm not gonna do it. And like I said, I'm not gonna do the punting one. So we'll just go through that. And let's go ahead and get through the preseason. Oh, I'm gonna go with the strategy and do this stuff with things I gotta turn fatigue off. So what I was saying earlier about the fatigue, so always make sure that the intensity is full pads, and I put all these to split. That way the backups also get some. Because once you set it, it stays even when you turn it off, so it'll stay full pads and split. So, and that's how I like to run it. For this, we'll do that, and we're going to put, well, we're not going to do it. We're going to put another there. And once this is through, we can go turn off for the rest of the fatigue. Is now off and will stay off. That's the only change we make from the settings that I gave you earlier. And we're going to go ahead and just advance this way. This is not how we do the regular season. Preseason doesn't really matter, so we'll just, we already got one injury. Who was that? Semi-close and dislocated elbow for 3 weeks. So heading back to 2-ish. I'm not doing these storylines because the storylines, I've gotten so tired of these storylines. They are horrendous. I hope they take it out of the game. It's ridiculous. Honestly. You know, I don't want to pay income tax when you change it about me. Like, who wants to pay income tax? I came from Florida. We didn't have income tax. Now I'm in Minnesota. Excuse me. And we have income tax here, and it's ridiculous. You shouldn't have to pay taxes to federal and state, and then the roads still be crappy at times. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So what we are going to do is get our upgrades. I'm going to go to Agile with Laga for both of his. was hoping to get him at 80, but we didn't quite yet, but that's okay. So Breezy, we're going to go with Run Stopper. For now, we'll put a few Impala down the road, but for now we're going to focus on Lucid back. See Juwan Johnson. We definitely need to work on his possession. And let's see. Bub Means. Let's see if we get some good upgrades with Playmaker for him. Let's see, do we get any even that +2? So short route, spec catch, release, medium route, deep route, catch. Yeah, that's a huge plus there. So, got a break tackle on that one this time. Oh, a +4 to deep route and +3 to short route. That's going to be a huge addition for him. Playmaker's still broken, it looks like. Rattler, we're going to go Phil Gem. Let's see what else we do. Jalen Ford, we're going to do Phil General. So we can hopefully get some increase to both zone and playwright. And tackling, pursuit, stuff like that. Direct tackle and zone, so perfect. That's all three that I wanted with the block shed. Perfect upgrade for that. Demario Davis. Let's do Philgin as well. Camara. We can go to Elusive back. If I look at maybe trading Camara around the trade deadline, depending on how this season looks for us. Let's see, Debo, we're going to increase man-to-man. +3 to man coverage. Derek Carr, we're going to do Field Gym. I'm afraid to see what he's going to be after regression. I hope he doesn't drop into the 60s. Let's see, Kool-Aid McKinstry, we're going to work on man. See if we can make him my #1. Because I'm sure we're losing Leo on the off season, possibly. So we're going to do power for Groupie. However you want to pronounce it. Let's see, Alante Taylor. We're going to do a man for him. For Shepard. Work on Run Stopper. Punter, we'll go to power. Which way will we Run Stopper? Last upgrade, Mr. Anthony Orgy, who will be Bill Jim. Upgrades. Like I said, I am going to do Rattler on that sit progression. So we have to have him at #1 going into week 1. Okay, so we set our season goal. They got 5 in real life, so we're going to hope for 7. We're going to hope we do a little bit better in sim. Choose draft class, and it'll be auto-generated, and we'll take a look at that later on. And then the storyline. I think this is the one for the quarterback, for the regression or the progression. Next question. The fans are curious how you'll handle your rookie QB's development. What do you mean? In the past, teams have had tremendous success if a rookie sits for a year on the bench like Mahomes did. Will you play your rookie QB this season or let him sit for a year and develop much faster? He's going to sit. That way he can get progression. I've always sat my rookies anyway, usually because I absolutely need a first rounder to start. Yeah, he'll play in less than 3 games after he gets him sitting all year. Great. Okay. Let's check back at the end of the season. Sounds good. From number 1 so he doesn't play. And that is the third string behind him. And that's going to bring this episode to an end. We'll pick up with week 1 with our first game against the division rival Carolina Panthers at home in the next episode. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Moves you think we should or shouldn't make, things like that. And I will catch you guys on the next episode.